What have I learned from two corgis? I'm Sandy, and for all of you who know me personally, I am a huge Pembroke Corgi fan. I've had 5 in my lifetime. Not always purebred, but I have a thing for the breed for sure since I was like a teenager. But anyway, we have a almost 12-year-old and a 4-month-old. And when we brought Luna home, which is the puppy, a few months ago, I really thought that Walker, our old guy, would be happy. We had lost our 14-year-old a few months before, and I really thought that, like I have God's eyeballs and I can read my dog's mind, I really thought that he'd be happy. What in the world does that have to do with relationships, and what does that have to do with showing up in life? Well, I'm going to tell you. A couple things. The way we introduced them, I understand now, was not in the optimal way. I basically projected my own way that I wanted it to be onto our house, and we basically walked in with this cute little puppy, and we put her down, and everything was pretty much fine. It was okay. Walker didn't want to have a whole lot to do with her, and he didn't even growl. He's always been, honestly, a pretty chill dog. In fact, we call him like the chilled out dog. In fact, he's sitting here right here with me, upside down, and his paws in the air, and that's just his personality. But let's face it, he wasn't happy. And about a week into this new addition to our family, Walker charged at little baby Luna, and he bit her, like right here. So when you see her, and y'all probably have seen her if you followed us online, she has like this little dent here, like her third eye. You can see her third eye. And it was pretty traumatic. We had to take her to the emergency vet, all the things. We actually brought in several dog trainers to work with us. And it's been unnerving because we can't have them in the same room right now without having a leash or having a muzzle or what have you. So we're working that out right now. The thing is, though, is that John and I work at home. We both have offices that are separate, and we always have one of the other dogs with us, and which has really been no big deal. But what I've noticed is that Luna is clearly scared of other dogs. We're walking her and such, and we can walk them together. But when she sees another dog, will flip over, and she's straight on her back, at showing that she's submissive and that she is okay and she's not going to hurt you. It's primal. God gave her this brain, and she's trying to protect herself. And as her mama, it's very sad to me because I want her to frolic and play and be a little puppy. So we've integrated her with other dogs, and she's actually slowly getting better about it, which is super, and I'm super happy about that. But she still really, really wants to be with this boy who does not want to be with her. And why do I bring this up? You have all heard me talk about brain patterning and how we are trying to recreate patterns, in our real 3D life that have happened in the past, whether it's in our DNA, before we were even born, or whether it's actually some things that have happened when we were in childhood. And even if it's actually not healthy, you will find that you are trying to recreate that patterning that happened from your parents, something that happened in your childhood. And I'm a prime example of that, that where I kept trying to recreate relationships where I had to basically sing for my supper. I had to I created environments where it was very conditional in the love that was going to be reciprocated. And I always say we're 100% responsible for the relationships that we're in. And I used to, before I went through this transformation 7 years ago, always blame the other people and blame men for leaving me and hurting me and abuse and all the bleh stories. But I know it wasn't my fault because I was doing it subconsciously. But once you're aware you can change this, you can. And that's really when I started getting into the embodiment piece and the energetic piece of the choices that we make. So as I'm watching Luna, the little baby, I'm on one side of the door, And then you can see the shadow of Walker, who clearly is pressed up against the other door. And if you guys have animals, I know you know what I'm talking about. They're both like laying against long. If you've seen corgis, they're about 3 feet long a piece. So they're, although Luna's smaller, I can see her here. I can see him on the other side, his shadow. And she's crawling on on the floor, trying to get to him, and she's whimpering. And then she's swatting her little paw underneath the door, trying to get his attention. Rolling over on her back, basically like, see me, I'm not going to hurt you. And this has been going on for a while. What does it have to do with humans, and what does it have to do with me? And the women, a lot of women that I've coached who have had this pattern of choosing relationships, whether it be work relationships or it be friendships or it be still being involved with parents who may be very toxic, or definitely their intimate partners, where they had to, show up and they weren't seen, heard, or felt. And so I'm watching her like want this thing, this boy who doesn't want her, but yet she's still choosing him over and over again. So I'm just curious, in your life, where has that shown up? Has it shown up? Have you had situations where clearly someone is not honoring you, and you keep showing up for more? You keep showing up at the table, being served a meal that they know that you don't love or you're allergic to. If your friend knows that you're allergic to MSG and she's constantly ordering Chinese food from the local Chinese restaurant that always has MSG in it, is that loving? And the answer is no, it just isn't. It's a violation of boundaries, and it's also a violation of your own boundary with yourself. So, this is to be continued with the saga of Luna and Walker. But what I'm here to say is that what I was able to do is tease apart patterning that showed up for me, really have it in my body what it felt like to be in relationships where I was going to be honoring myself, and then also attract the people in my life, friendships, career, obviously the man that I married now. And it is possible. And it's through all these practices that I've learned. So I just want to say, if you're stuck in a pattern where you feel like you're constantly being given the short end of the stick, I think that's the saying, you feel like life's not fair, or there's no good men out there, or my career is at a dead end. Take a look at yourself and look at the patterning and see if this has shown up before for you, because I'm almost positive that it has. And I just want to say there's hope for you, and it doesn't necessarily come through just talking things out in therapy, although that can be very helpful. It is going to come from doing some deep work on the inner patterns that you have, and a lot of it has to do here with your brain and also with your second brain, which is your gut. More about that later, but if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. You can email me at sandy@sandysembler.com. You can also go to my website, sandysembler.com, and we can talk more about that. But I just felt led to pop on today as I watched this dynamic happen again, and my heart just went out to her, and it reminded me of several clients that I'm working with now, and quite frankly, closer to home, it reminded me of me and the relationships I was in almost all my life since I was 12 with partners, where if there was going to be someone who was going to love me and honor me, no matter what, then they saw God in me and they could see me, as a being that was imperfectly perfect. And then there would be someone who was going to, love me for all of me. I mean, I was always going to run towards the person who was going to judge me and not be there no matter what. So I finally took responsibility of that, and then that's why I'm in the space that I'm in today. Still a work in progress, but I hope that I always am till the day I die. Yeah, I do. So I hope this helped you guys. I look forward to talking to you.